At 4:47 a.m., while the rest of the city was still buried in sleep, one man was already lacing up his shoes. Not because someone told him to, not because he had no choice, but because somewhere along the way, he discovered a secret that most people never learn. The hours before sunrise don't belong to the world. They belong to you. And what you do with them can quietly rewrite the entire direction of your life. This is the story of a man named Malik and the mornings that changed everything. 3 years ago, Malik was drowning, not in water, but in noise, notifications, deadlines, bills that multiplied faster than his paycheck. He woke up already exhausted, scrolling through his phone before his feet even touched the floor, absorbing other people's opinions before he had formed a single thought of his own. By the time he arrived at work, he was already reacting to the world instead of leading his own life. He told himself this was normal. Everyone was tired. Everyone was stressed. Everyone was just trying to survive the week. But deep down, a quiet question kept surfacing, one he tried to ignore. Is this really all there is? The shift didn't come from a seminar or a book that promised overnight success. It came from a single, humbling night. Malik had just been passed over for a promotion he knew he deserved. Sitting alone in his car afterward, he replayed the year in his mind, and it hit him. He hadn't failed because he lacked talent. He had failed because he had no structure, no discipline, no hours in his day that were truly, deliberately his own. That night he made a decision that felt small but was actually enormous. Tomorrow, he would wake up before the sun, not to do more, but to finally do something on purpose. The first few days were brutal. His body fought him. His mind begged for the snooze button. But he kept a simple rule: no phone for the first hour. Just him, a glass of water, and 10 minutes of silence to think clearly before the world demanded his attention. He started small, a short walk, a few pages of a book that challenged him, writing down 3 things he wanted to accomplish that day. Not 15, just 3 that actually mattered. It wasn't glamorous. There was no music playing in the background, no perfect lighting. Just a tired man choosing discipline over comfort. Again and again, before anyone else was even awake to witness it. Here's what Malik began to understand, and what almost every person who has built something meaningful eventually discovers. The early morning is the only time of day that hasn't been claimed by anyone else's demands. No emails, no meetings, no one asking you for something. It is the one stretch of time that is entirely, uninterruptedly yours. Success was never really about waking up early for its own sake. It was about reclaiming ownership of his mind before the world had a chance to hijack it. Every person who has ever built something lasting, a business, a body of work, a life they're proud of, understood this same principle in their own way. They protected a space where they could think, plan, and grow, untouched by outside noise. That IT wasn't instant transformation. There were mornings Malik failed. Mornings he hit snooze 3 times and woke up angry at himself. Mornings where the 10 minutes of quiet felt pointless, where nothing seemed to be changing no matter how early he rose. But he kept a rule for those days too. Missing one morning didn't mean quitting the mission. It just meant starting again tomorrow. Slowly, the discipline stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like identity. He wasn't someone forcing himself to wake up early anymore. He had become someone who simply did. 6 months in, something had shifted, not dramatically, but undeniably. Malik was calmer under pressure. He made decisions instead of just reacting to problems. His work improved, not because he suddenly became smarter, but because he had spent an hour every morning sharpening the one tool that mattered most: his mind. A year later, he didn't just get the promotion he had once been denied. He built something of his own, a small project born entirely from ideas that had come to him in those quiet, early hours when no one else was awake to distract him. The mornings hadn't just changed his schedule. They had changed who he was. Malik's story isn't really about waking up at 4:47 a.m. It's about a decision that anyone can make, starting tonight, to stop letting the world set the terms of your life before you've even had a chance to think for yourself. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need to become someone else overnight. You just need 1 hour, protected and intentional, where you choose growth over comfort, even when no one is watching. Think about your own mornings right now. What claims them before you even open your eyes? Is it your phone? Is it someone else's schedule? Is it a rush so familiar you don't even question it anymore? That rush isn't neutral. It's shaping the direction of your entire life, one unclaimed morning at a time. The people who build something different aren't smarter than you. They aren't luckier than you. They simply refuse to let the first hour of their day belong to everyone except themselves. That refusal, repeated daily, is the quiet foundation beneath every success story you've ever admired. The sun doesn't wait for anyone, but it also doesn't choose who rises to meet it. That choice has always been yours. So here is the truth Malik would want you to carry with you. You don't have to wake up at 4:47 a.m. tomorrow. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. But you can choose one thing. One small act of ownership before the noise of the world reaches you. A page of a book. A few minutes of silence. 3 things that actually matter, written down before anyone else can hand you their idea of what should matter instead. That one choice, repeated daily, is how an entire life quietly turns in a new direction. Not through some dramatic overnight transformation, but through 100 small mornings where you decided, on purpose, to become someone slightly stronger than the day before. Malik didn't become successful because he woke up early. He became successful because he stopped letting his life happen to him and started building it, one deliberate hour at a time. If this story reminded you that your mornings can become the foundation of a completely different life, don't scroll past it in silence. Like this video, subscribe for more stories like Malik's, and share it with someone who needs to hear that change can start with a single early morning. Your sunrise is waiting. The only question is whether you'll be awake to meet it.